All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Recliner Sports Talk. I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.
Episode 12 here for us, and we got a big one. Football season's over. It's over. Buccaneers were champs. Brandon and I were correct on the under. I was correct on the pick there. Again, the whole Tom Brady thing, right? Tom Brady out in the playoffs. Why didn't I do that? I don't know. Picked them in the game that mattered. Okay, so with that being said, a lot of people are bringing up, is Tom Brady the greatest team sport athlete? Now, I've heard athlete, and I think you can't say that because there's very unsuccessful people that are way better athletes than possibly the most successful athletes in the world. You know,
Michael Phelps, Usain Bolt.
The Olympics just overtake a lot of things there.
Yeah.
So the greatest team sport athlete, I think Brandon and I both can agree, it's between two people. And one of them just won again on Sunday. It's Tom Brady and it's MJ. So basically what we're going to do here, we're going to break it down and pretty much at the end of this, tell you who we think is the best team sports athlete. Brandon, why don't you kick it off? How about we start with the guy that's not playing anymore? Tell me a little bit about why Michael Jordan would be considered.
Well, he went 6-0 in the finals. It's kind of hard to dispute anything about Michael Jordan not being a winner. He's never lost in the finals, but you can argue, well, he only got to 6 finals. Hey, look, Brady's been to 10 Super Bowls. LeBron, he's been to 10 finals. You can say, hey, Jordan early in his career, he didn't win. Tom Brady early in his career won. So you can make that argument. Michael Jordan was just, his demeanor was just different. I mean, we all watched that Jordan documentary. Obviously, it's going to be biased for Michael Jordan, but I mean, he's one of the greatest athletes of all time. It's tough to go basketball versus football for me. It's really hard to do this comparison. They're two totally different sports. Basketball, you have 5 guys, right?
Yeah.
5 guys on the court. One guy can really change an outcome. Football it's different. You're going to be hard pressed to find one guy. Look at all those Rams teams. Aaron Donald, yes, he's good, but guess what? They didn't do anything. You can have one great guy and nothing happens. Now, quarterback's a little different. You have a little more opportunity to change the game. I'm not going to get to Tom Brady yet, but I'm just trying to say the sports are totally different to compare. I really struggled with this because, I mean, I have respect for both guys.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
It's tough. Obviously, we can talk all day about Michael Jordan and all of his accomplishments. I mean, he finished 4th in points right now. I think LeBron just passed him. He's 4th all time in fourth or 5th in points. And he really didn't even play that long. Remember, he took that 2-year hiatus. I mean, his career wasn't that long. He played in college till 1984. He came in at 20 years old, I think, in 1984. He had a good 7 years until he didn't win a championship for the first 7 years in the league.
Yeah.
91, right? 91, 92, 93. And he three-peated and retired.
Yeah.
He comes back. Yeah. Do you want me to talk Brady now too, or do you want me to
I'll talk a little MJ here. So obviously you said the 6 finals. Every finals he was in, he was the MVP in.
Yeah.
So to say you go perfect and also you're the best player in everyone, that says a little something there. And here's another thing, 5 MVPs in 10 years. Now he won from 88 to 98. He won 5. 3 NBA All-Star MVPs. I don't say that's a big deal because NBA All-Star game's a joke. But this is the big one. 10-time All-NBA first team. And I know for a fact that was not Brady. I believe Brady was 3 or 4 times. I think the years he won MVP, he was that first, and that's about it. Because obviously quarterback-driven league there. But NBA Defensive Player of the Year in 88 as well. That's a big thing a lot of people forget about. But I'm going to take a step farther that he definitely has over Tom. He has a college career.
Yes.
College career, he was an NCAA champ.
He hit the
He
shot.
was the National College Player of the Year, and he was a two-time first-team All-American, ACC Player of the Year, two-time All-ACC. His numbers retired at North Carolina. So again, obviously he had all the success in the pros, but he also had it in college, something that Tom cannot say. So again, he has tons and tons of different stat leaders too, but it's just like all these achievements he's gotten. You know, male athletes of the year. He's won all these different awards. Does that make him the best team sport athlete, though? What do you got to say about Tom Brady, Brandon?
Real quick, I just want to say about Jordan. I like how you brought up the college career. I totally forgot about that. You can say, hey, he's won at all levels of like
The higher level, yeah.
I don't know if he won high school or not, but I imagine they did. But anyway, to talk Tom Brady, I'm leaning, honestly, I know this is crazy to say, talk about bias or recency bias. That's a thing. I'm actually leaning towards Tom Brady if I had to choose. I mean, both we can agree are top two. It's again different sports, but the fact that Brady has been to 10 Super Bowls in 21 seasons is mind blowing. He has 7 Super Bowls. No other franchise, and we're talking what was this, Super Bowl 50, 54?
Yeah.
I think. No other franchise has more than 6. I mean, New England, Pittsburgh have 6. And we talk about New England or Pittsburgh being probably the best football franchise. Tom Brady himself has more. He's won without Bill Belichick. You know, everyone's like, "Oh,
this changes his legacy completely.
It's the system. He's the best system quarterback of all time." Well, he goes to a different team and wins in his first year in his 40s, COVID year, less practice, no preseason. Like, can we talk about that? He goes to a totally different team.
Yeah. New system.
I don't care who you are, they say system. You still have to understand how players run routes. Obviously, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Tony Brown, he knew a little bit. But, like, those guys, when you're a quarterback, you have to kind of get that rapport with these receivers. The fact that he did that 1 year in his 40s, what other – we just saw Drew Brees. He's done. He's 40, and he's a Hall of Famer. Look what happened. He deteriorated fast. Tom Brady can still throw the deep ball. In fact, Tom Brady looks really good.
Big Ben.
They all collapse. Brady does not. And he's older than all of them. I mean, other than George Blanda, I don't think there's ever been a quarterback who's played this long. And George Blanda at that point was a kicker. He was like a backup quarterback. So he has 7, and his win percentage is like 7. It's like .787 or something for his entire career. I mean, that is dumb.
Quarterback too, starting quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, this year, look what he did. He threw for what? God, 37 touchdowns? Something like that?
Yeah, I have his stats right here. Let me see. This year he threw 40 touchdowns, and I think that probably includes playoffs there too.
Okay.
But yeah. So just from my perspective there, obviously he's got the 7 rings, and he's been to 10 Super Bowls. Now, 7, he has 5 Super Bowl MVPs, so you could say 1 less than MJ there. Only 3 MVPs, and I say only, he was the oldest MVP at 40 in 2017 or 18, whatever that was. He's won Comeback Player of the Years, Male Athletes of the Year, Sports Illustrated, all that different type of stuff. But it's like the whole losses in the finals. Does that make any difference? He has 3 losses where MJ has 0. He doesn't have that college career to back up like MJ. But again, the stats are unbelievable for Tom Brady. By the time he retires, he's going to statistically be the best quarterback ever in most categories, throwing categories, starts, all that different type of stuff. So again, usually people can say, well, you have the opinion. No, literally, the numbers are there to back it up. And, will Mahomes pass it? Guys have a chance to pass it because of the inflated numbers. But listen, who's to say that the inflated numbers don't go back the other way here by the end of Mahomes' career? Maybe runs right back into it. Maybe there's a new defensive scheme that takes over, all this different type of stuff. So again, it's all these trends. Tom Brady's been through multiple trends. He's been the under center power eye to mixing some two backs, dropping shotgun, all this different type of stuff. Even though you're in shotgun, you're only throwing, 20, 30 times. He's throwing 45 now. It's just crazy to me. So again, Tom Brady, like you said, he's more relevant right now. Just won a Super Bowl. So Brandon, if I said, Brandon, you have one pick, who's it going to be? Who is it and why?
I would pick Brady. I would. I know we bring up the losses. Seriously, he got to 10 Super Bowls. It's harder in the NFL to get to the championship. Look, before this year, 6 teams AFC, 6 teams NFC. That's 12. 12 of 32. You do the math. That's not that good. Guess what in the NBA?
Yeah.
16 of 30. More than half the league makes the playoffs in basketball. It's easier to make the playoffs. And I know the Bulls are probably the 1 seed every single year. Doesn't matter. Like, football is hard. It is a very hard sport. Why do you think you don't get teams that I don't think a team's ever won 3 in a row? You don't get that. Like in the NBA, you have these string of teams winning championships year in, year out. Like, football is so hard. We see teams that go 4-12. Guess what? They go 12-4 the next year with the same players. Like, it's grueling. Injuries can really play a damper on it. All of this, I think Tom Brady's accomplishments in the sport of football are more impressive slightly than Michael Jordan's in basketball. Do I want to say it's hard to compare, but if you put a gun to my head, I'm going to say Tom Brady.
Yeah. All right. So, and I'm going to say Tom Brady as well. And again, I'm saying it for a lot of reasons here. So we're not going to get into the MJ LeBron debate here, but it's like, can you imagine? I understand the whole record in the finals, but LeBron's already been to 10. And I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to 2 or 3 more. So you're going to knock the guy for being the best 4 times and the second best 6 or 7. Okay. I'm sorry, but he's been more than you. Tom Brady's been 10 times. Like you said, it's hard. One position can make a big impact.
Exactly.
But basketball, if you're the best player in the league, guess what? You're at least getting to the finals every year. We just watched LeBron do it 8 consecutive years. Brady did it with multiple coaches. So imagine if Jordan went to the Wizards and did this. That's the equivalent to what Tom Brady just did.
How old was Jordan on the Wizards? He was born in 63.
He was 40 when he retired.
Yes, so it was 2002, 2003. So he played 39, 40
with Washington. And again, 0 playoff appearances with them. Like, listen, Tom Brady obviously went to a good team, but literally everything changed. You brought Gronk, and that's it. I understand he's one of the best tight ends ever, but you got to bring a lot more to make it similar. Different philosophies, different culture. Tom Brady went out there and did it. The whole age thing's a big thing for me. 43. Yeah. And then this is the last thing here I'm going to go with. All right. MJ was there for the end of Bird and Magic and all them, right? That was their prime. Who was the second best player in the league every year in MJ's prime? Because it wasn't Shaq yet.
Olajuwon.
Kobe yet. So, yeah, Olajuwon. He's not a top 10 player, is he? He's not a top 10 of all time. He's in the top 20.
You can make an argument, Nick.
Yeah,
you
but
can.
Here's the thing. Brady's prime, very, very long. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees,
Brett Favre,
Roethlisberger, Brett Favre,
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. The list goes on and on. It's like, yeah, those guys are legit. You know what I mean? It's not like some scrubs. So Brady has won 3 MVPs throughout a 13-year span, I think it was 10-year span, whatever. Obviously not as much, but he's competing with all-time greats, guys that completely changed the position with him.
Yeah.
MJ changed it himself, right? And again,
Yeah.
he didn't. His prime was not Magic and Larry and Shaq and Kobe. He was that tweener. So again, I understand MJ. You get all these comparisons. He's the best. He's the best. He's the best. Brady literally played with the best ever to play the position
No, he did.
and dominated. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, again, and two, I'm anticipating Brady at least making it to one more. I don't know if he wins another. I'm saying he can at least win one more because I think they're going to save some money. I think they're going to sign Antonio Brown cheap. I think they're going to let Chris Godwin walk. And I think they're going to build maybe another piece or two around him. Obviously, not a Chris Godwin piece, but maybe it's a lineman. Maybe it's something to that defense to make it even better. They're going to sign Bowles and those coaches back because that's, they said, their main focus right now. So, again, if he can get that, I'm not saying he wins another. I would not be surprised Tom Brady makes it to another. And that's why, again, I picked Tom Brady.
Shaq Barrett is a free agent. They need to re-sign him. I think you're right, Godwin. Someone's got to go. There's actually too many receivers there, believe it or not. Who would have thought?
Antonio Brown wants to stay there to play with Brady, and in that situation, he's going to take a pay cut.
I think Gronk stays.
And Gronk's going to stay too. And again, he's a guy that's made enough money in his career. He will take a pay cut.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Now, what does Leonard Fournette do? He's a free agent. He got his. I don't think he stays in Tampa.
No, and we talked about it today. Hey, running backs, man.
Oh,
you can run back by committee, and you'll be all right.
To a point, you still want to have that lead back who's like 60, 65% touches,
Brandon,
I'd say.
Imagine an average back playing with Tom Brady where everybody's thinking pass first, pass first, pass first. There's going to be softer openings for that run. He was passing obviously great at the end of the year, and what happened? Open up that run game. It all correlates with each other.
Ronald Jones isn't bad, but Fournette's the better player. It's pretty obvious at this point.
Yeah, and
I don't know why Fournette didn't get more burn in the regular season, but I guess that's a different story. We'll see. I think Godwin's as good as gone. There's no way they keep him.
Yeah, I think someone's going to pay him well and well-deserved.
Yeah.
But like you said, when you have that many weapons, you don't have to hold on to that extra piece. Even though he is a good piece, you can save that money and put it towards Shaq Barrett, who
I was to say he almost single-handedly won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Him and Pierre-Paul, they're worth every single penny.
Yeah. So again, I think that's why Tom Brady would be back. Again, does he carry a team like that? I don't know. But if you can put that defense back out there with Todd Bowles, I'm gonna ride that defense very far.
Hey, their secondary is a bunch of no names who played very well, except for Winfield.
We get that same thing with Washington. You get some guys that are just average playing in the secondary. When you have that much pressure up front, you can make more plays.
I mean, they have the best linebackers, Levante David and Devin White. You can't get better than that.
Yeah, Devin White had a good Super Bowl.
What a good – Devin White dominated this year. I mean, they're good. So, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, again, Tom Brady. All right. Hey, any hate? Put it in the comments. Listen, MJ, cool documentary this quarantine. Cool. We're riding with Brady, and he doesn't even have that career doc out yet, and I can't wait for that one to come out one day. All right, so we just wanted to talk that, but as well, we wanted to talk about the NBA. All right, football, boom, over. Basketball. We're going to talk NBA. Brandon wanted to talk some Steph Curry. So I'll let him talk. I'll talk some Sixers and some things I'm seeing as well.
I'll do a brief overview. I just want to say the Utah Jazz are for real. We've known this, but, dude, they're different. They're playing very, very well. They have 5 losses.
Yeah,
we are
defensive team too.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert is so underrated. He is so underrated.
People bash
just his
for
presence
so
there.
Much. People bash them for paying him so much, and they're like, "Are you kidding me? Look at all the other guys with that much money." Well, obviously they knew what they're doing. They're 20-5 right now.
They win. He wins Defensive Player of the Year every other year too, and his presence there it makes it so much. People hate. They hate all they want.
Yeah.
I think Brad Beal will lead the league in scoring this year. That's going to be my guess.
I
Pretty
mean, we're
easy
25
guess.
games in. Yeah, that's a pretty easy guess to make.
Well, I'll explain why. The Wizards are piss poor. They are horrid.
Well,
Horrid.
Russ
Their
can't make a
defense
shot.
is so bad.
Yeah.
Huh?
Russ can't make a shot.
He can't. He can at all. And Beal has to do everything. But Beal, I think last game, he struggled. Like the past 2 games. Like really struggling. If he struggles, man, it's bad.
They already have 6 wins. That's it.
But yes, I'll talk Steph Curry. Can we please respect the guy? I know he hasn't played in forever. Everyone forgot this offseason and last playoffs, Dame Lillard this, Dame Lillard that. Don't get me wrong. I love Damian Lillard as a player. I think he's so good. But no one is on the level of Steph Curry as a guard.
James Harden isn't?
Yeah. As a guard.
What?
When it comes to
killing it.
I don't care. He can't kill it in the playoffs when it matters. Steph Curry is proven. And I'll talk about that. James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo are regular season juggernauts. Guess what? They are in the playoffs. They're proven flops.
But you just said
year in,
we're talking
year out.
Now.
It's the regular season.
Exactly. We're talking regular season stuff right now, not playoff stuff.
I don't know if you've seen the Warriors, but Steph is freaking unreal lately. He's the only guy with not back-to-back, but with more than 2 games of 50 plus. I mean, that game versus Dallas, it was stupid. He's so good. People forget how good he is. He literally changed the game of basketball. He doesn't get the respect for that.
No one's forgetting. At least we talked about it, saying he's not the second best player in the NBA. He's not. He's not.
I mean, you can make an argument.
Yeah, I can make an argument about a lot of things, Brandon. But just saying, Steph Curry is very good, and no one's disagreeing with that. But he is not the second best player in the NBA right now. He's not. If he was, the Warriors wouldn't be in 8th place in the West.
That's a fair point. But his team is garbage. We saw that Draymond shot at half court with 8 seconds left. What the hell kind of boneheaded play was that? Seriously, I've never seen anything like that. This man, Draymond, gets the ball at half court, 8 seconds left. And what does he do? He throws up a shot? What?
Yeah.
Their roster, I'm shocked because Bob Myers is a very good GM. Their roster, I know Klay Thompson, of course, is injured. And Kelly Oubre has been dog cheeks for the Warriors this year. But that roster is not good. I mean, their bench is brutal. You know when they won all those championships and they went on their run, their bench could start for most teams. Not anymore. These guys are really young, and I get it. Like, the Warriors had to go young eventually because Curry's 32. Klay Thompson's 31. He just turned 31. I did not realize he was that old. Draymond Green's turning 31. These guys, they have about 2 to 3 years of elite play left. Curry, maybe Curry can be your next Tom Brady because of the way that he does play. Now, he is injury prone, so we'll see how that goes. I feel like Curry, I mean, that shooting stroke will never go away. Klay Thompson, same thing. But what John Wall and Kevin Durant have proven is you can come off Achilles injury and you can play very well. So there's hope for Klay. Now he's coming off an ACL and then an Achilles. So it's going to be interesting next year what the Warriors do. But Curry right now, he's looking like prime Steph Curry.
Yeah. And
this is on a team that's horrible. And you say, hey, the Warriors are in 8th place, blah, 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 blah. Man, he averages 30 points a game. What else does he have to do? He's shooting like 50%, 42% from
maybe
3.
Some more assists. He has 3 assists a
What
game.
else can he do, Nick? There's only so much you can do. It's the rest of the team at that point.
Didn't we just have a whole conversation about how the best players in the league can get you places in the NBA?
They can, but when you have guys like Toscano, number 95 for the Warriors,
What
starting
did
for you.
LeBron do when he took those crappy Cavs teams to the finals?
Yeah. Do you remember he shot 40 times in the finals? Curry's not shooting 40
I'm
times in a
saying
regular
just to
season
get to the
game.
finals. Why not start now? If they're that bad, if he's their only option, why not shoot more?
I'm just saying they're not offensively speaking, other than Curry. What other Andrew Wiggins is having a phenomenal year, so I will give him credit. But other than those two,
There's two.
but like everyone else is bum, and Wiseman's out. That hurts too.
Andrew Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins would
He
have
might
been
make
the
the All-Star
second
game.
best player on those LeBron teams by far. By far.
Maybe.
Early LeBron.
Maybe.
He might win it with Andrew Wiggins.
Wiggins is playing very well, and
Yeah.
I will give him that credit. I'm so disappointed in Oubre. I really expected more from him. He's a bum.
It's the Converse shoes, right? Isn't he a Converse guy?
I don't even know. He put up that one game Warner was telling us about that. He put 40 up randomly. I missed that. But other than that, Draymond, he has been playing well as of late, but his scoring is still.
He's never been a scorer, though. He's always been a
No, I know. And but that's the thing about the Warriors. He never needed to score. Well, he needs to score now. Clay's not there. Clay averages 22, 23 a game on like 48% shooting and 43% shooting from three. So when Clay's not there, you need to get production somewhere. KD's not there anymore. Andrew Wiggins is filling the role of a lesser Klay Thompson right now. He's shooting 39% from three, which can we talk about that? Andrew Wiggins, what the hell? He's actually an NBA player right now. He stunk in Minnesota.
Also like 23, 24, I bet.
No, he's older than us. He's a year older than us.
All right, 26.
Yeah. He's been in the league 7 years now.
Some guys don't even hit their prime till now anyway.
No, yeah, 26 is probably prime.
Yeah.
Did you see what Devin Booker said last night about Giannis? So Phoenix won. So Giannis had a chance to win the game, and he shot a jump shot. And Devin Booker said, yeah, like basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, yeah, we'll allow it. We want that. And I guess people are saying like, oh, Devin Booker needs to shut up. Like Giannis has done way more than him, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to be honest. He's not wrong.
No, it's like saying Ben Simmons, go ahead, take the free throw jumper to win the game.
We all know Giannis can't shoot.
Yeah. Just because he shoots threes and he makes a couple doesn't mean he's a good 3-point shooter.
You'll live with that shot. If he gets to the rim, no, you don't want that. But like if you're going to triple team him into shooting a shot and he's not going to pass out, hey, that's the game plan.
Yeah. So, all right, well, I'll go a little Eastern Conference here. Obviously, the Sixers in the lead. The Sixers without Embiid stink, and that's basically it, right? What else can you say? So, Embiid, if you stay on the court, it's possible that you make it to the championship. And again, you got to run into the Nets in a series. I think that's tough. It's kind of what we thought, right? The Bucks are number 2. I thought they'd be like 3 or 4. But this is what they do. I compare Giannis to post Super Bowl Aaron Rodgers. Stats. He ain't gonna get you to the championship. MVPs, stats, not gonna get you to the championship. That's post Super Bowl Aaron Rodgers. Since that Super Bowl, he's been all these stats, all this and that. And guess what? They're in the same area, Green Bay and Milwaukee, same area. So it's crazy that that's probably going to be the story of his career too. Nets, it's one of those things where get to the playoffs. I think that's their motto there. The Raptors, I thought they'd be in the playoffs, but they're doing pretty well. Again, I'm saying pretty well. They're 12-13, and in the East, that's in the playoffs there. I think the Heat make their way back up. They had a lot of COVID problems. They've won 3 straight, so I think they're on the upward path back to the playoffs, especially the Hawks had a bad loss to the Mavs last night. Obviously, Trae Young blew up there at the end at the refs. Hornets, again, 12 and 14, they're in the playoffs right now. So again, East is weak as always. So that's the thing. That's why this might be the best year the Sixers could make the finals because of how bad the East is. Unfortunately, as usual, that's the common story, right? And then going to the West, like you said, the Jazz, great stuff. I think the Suns are playing a lot better than I thought they were going to. I thought they'd make the playoffs, but not a 4 seed. You know what
How
I mean?
about Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas, obviously beating but here's the thing. Dallas, if you look at it, they're 1 game out of the playoffs right now.
Yeah, the Warriors are in 8th, 13 and 12.
Yeah, and they're 12 and 14. So really 2 wins away and they'd be the 5 seed, which is crazy. But again, so many games are canceled and all this. They've played a lot more games than some other teams too. So it all depends there. I think the Trailblazers, the normal Trailblazers, are going to have a cool little regular season, get in the playoffs. Dame's going to get a big shot in a game, and then that's going to be it. Or they might win the first round and beat they might beat the Suns. Right now, they would match up with the Suns. Okay, they'd beat the Suns. Wow, good job. And then they run into the Clippers, Lakers, or Jazz, and then lose. You know what I mean? So again, it'd be interesting to see if the Clippers can actually do something because no one's obviously people are talking about them, right? They always talk about the 18 and 18, but can they dethrone the Lakers? I don't think the Jazz are for real. I think the Nuggets are they've kind of cooled off a little bit, but they'll keep on making their way back up. So, could the Clippers end up with against the Lakers here in the Western Conference Finals? I'd love to see that. LA right there, and then maybe you get a Sixers Nets or a Sixers Boston. Now you got some big markets involved in the finals.
Oh yeah.
And we've talked about that. Like, listen, if it's not going to be the underdog, make it the big market teams because that's when you get the huge following. Anytime it's a New York and an LA team or a Philly West Coast team, pretty much it's California, right? That's when you get those big dogs. So again, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the NBA. Still a lot of season left. But again, I think the Jazz will have a good playoff run. I don't think they're doing anything to the Clippers or the Lakers. It'll be interesting to see how I want to see that Nets Sixers matchup. Hopefully it's a conference finals, not a second round.
I just want to say we picked Sixers, Lakers, both of us at the start of the year. Lakers currently in second place, half game back, and Philly is currently in first place, 2 games up. So pretty good pick. I think the biggest possible Final Four that you could have for ratings nationwide actually would not be Clippers, Lakers. I think West Coast. I think if Dallas goes on a run, Dallas, Lakers. And obviously Nets and Sixers are probably going to be your biggest problem, like ratings. Philadelphia is the 5th biggest population area in the country. New York's number 1. Yeah. So, just those 2 right there. I mean, Philly area is 6 million people. New York is 20 million. That's 26 million people right there. And it's next to each other. So that would literally bring the entire Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, even Connecticut region. I think Texas is huge. So if Dallas goes on a run with Luka Doncic, star power versus LeBron, like that, I think those 4 would bring them the biggest ratings.
Even if you got a cool series there, if the Dallas could get back in it and they play the Spurs, who are the 6th seed right now, that'd probably even get some ratings just for at least from that area. So that's anything, right? If you don't get the good player matchup, get the good location matchup, kind of gets those ratings up. So, all right. Well, Brandon, you got any last words there for?
No, honestly, it stinks that football's over. But this is the time of year.
Stuff to talk about here. Obviously, basketball, but we got.
I know, but this is the time of year. Guess what? We're only 2-3 weeks away from March. Guess what? March Madness, best, and we're gonna have it this year. That's the best tournament. I don't care what anyone says. That, and believe it or not, and I'm not a soccer guy, World Cup's pretty entertaining. That and the Olympics. March Madness, World Cup, Olympics. Those are your top 3 things that get me excited for sports.
All right, so our homework then I think has to be crush some college basketball, at least some research on it.
Yeah.
So next week, We could do a little breakdown because conference tournaments are going to start up here soon.
They start up,
Um,
what, 2 weekends from now?
Yeah, so maybe we could have a little preview for that coming up. And then obviously baseball. I think we can make some big baseball predictions. I was thinking too, maybe we talk about the best baseball team right now, kind of make a little personal draft here, you and I, with the list of players,
Okay.
say what we think our best team would be. So some cool stuff there. I don't really have anything else to add to it. So we're good to go here. My name's Nick.
I'm Brandon.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.